Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Fat Dubs Bracketology Fight Night. And this time around, we are doing 8 tag teams, 4 current, 4 from the past. Pretty much WCW, WWE, WWF era to currently WWE time. So, that being said, we got this. Brandon wants to give me a high five, sweet. Sorry.
No, you're wrong. There are 5 teams that are in the past. There are 3 that are from current. Or it's not a tag team. There are 5. There are 5 teams that are former tag teams.
But they're still currently like wrestling, is what we kind of did.
Yes and no. I mean, if that's the case, then there's New Age Outlaws. Billy Gunn is still wrestling.
The Bar was the only team that we could actually find relative to actually put in this because everybody else was pretty much like a one and
done. Come on now, don't lie to the people.
Don't lie to the people. Lying to the people.
You're lying to the people.
So if you're wondering, that is why.
Lie to.
I don't lie to the people. I do never lie to the people. That's why they ask me all the questions, because I don't lie. So, that being said, so what we did is we set it up to where each one is facing somebody from now. Somebody from now is facing somebody from the past. So, as always, who do we want as our tag team champions going forward if we were to start a company? As you can see, we have the Dudley Boys, the Bar, the Hardy Boys, the New Day, Street Profits, New Age Outlaws, the Usos, and Edge and Christian. Those are the ones we decided to go with because there's just so many tag teams that, like I said, that are one and done. We went to the ones that actually have had like most like title reigns and longevity. These are the ones we decided to go with. All right. Before I get started, Ryan, you want to put anything in?
Nope. Get going.
All right. Sounds good. So up first, we have the Dudley Boys versus the Bar.
So the Bar consisted of Cesaro and Sheamus. Obviously Cesaro is no longer with WWE. He's on AEW / Ring of Honor. The Dudley Boys featuring Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, mostly around in the Attitude Era. I'm gonna go with the Dudley Boys because they were an icon of the tag team division from days of ECW to WWF, Attitude Era, even coming back. They're one of the tag teams that really set the tone and really brought out the extreme in tag team and everything like that. They're also they're one of the tag teams that has some of the most tag team wins as a whole, tag team championships. The Bar has its own accolades and everything like that, but I don't think that they stand a chance against the Dudleys.
I don't think so either. Like you said, the Dudleys setting that hardcore passion for the tag team division, and got one of the most famous, sayings of all in WWE. With Bubba Ray saying to Devon, get the table.
Yeah, I mean it's an iconic thing. Plus, I mean we have 3 of the tag teams in here in this tournament that were part of the legendary 6-man triple threat tag team championship match at WrestleMania, with so many iconic moments and like that. So I don't think there's a question that the Bar, as good as a tag team and how much like they were a big fan favorite, the Dudley Boys are just someone that's going to easily move on.
Agreed. So Dudley Boys moving on. It would have been interesting to see what Shamey and Cesaro could do if they actually would have kept them going, especially more, gave them, because they only had the one title shot if I remember.
No, they had a couple
or 2 shots, I believe.
Yeah,
but I don't know, because it's hard, like somebody like Shamey, I see, because he's been a world champion a couple times, that it's hard to bring him down to just being a tag team for so long.
Well, he liked it. He got hurt, so that's why they broke up the Bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Okay. Yeah, the Bar ended up happening after I watched, so watch that.
Yep.
All right. Up next, we have The Hardy Boys versus the New Day.
My pick is the New Day because I've watched them from the start to finish. They just lost their title as the longest reigning tag team champions. They've also um, have one of the higher remarks. I think they between all three members, they have some of the higher marks of the tag team division. They've really rejuvenated tag team into being something great because tag teams have kind of fallen out and everything like that. They're always entertaining. Now, that being said, the Hardy Boys are entertaining, but they're more entertaining on an extreme level, doing crazy stunts. I don't think actually the Hardy Boys are good on the mic, in my opinion. Where the New Day can actually do everything from the actual wrestling part to the actual mic part. They're more entertaining. They actually draw the crowd. They draw so much hype, and no matter what they do, they had their moment as a heel, which you really didn't like him as a heel and everything like that. But when they obviously as faces, they're wonderful. All three members, like this is one of the best tag teams to ever be formed. And again, I didn't really watch the Hardy Boys. I know they're just another part of this extreme guideline, but that's all I think about the Hardy Boys. Is I think that they're just more about being extreme than actually they have their tag team wins and everything like that. But I think the New Day is a more whole package. So my pick is the New Day.
Also to clarify, this is just not two members of the New Day. This is actually all three because they've all cycled through, all being the tag team. They
cycle through, so it's one of the tag teams.
That's why if you're wondering, because they're a faction, pretty much.
Yeah,
they are a tag team. They actually are in our faction bracket as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with you with that too. Hardy Boys were more let our actions speak more than our words, pretty much kind of deal. New Day, since I've started watching them, funny as hell, very creative when it comes to matches. Coming up with something different to do, the versatility of the whole group as well. Love to see the big guy come back. The
New Day in any tag team and in any rivalry they've been in, the Usos, the Street Profits, the Viking Raiders, the Wyatt family, the Bar, Sheamus or Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, just any rivalry the New Day has been in, they've always stole the show. Yep. Like it's always been great matchups, great storytelling, and that's just kind of one of those things in WWE that's the big factor is the whole build up, and the New Day does it.
And their crowd pleasing has been off the charts as well. I mean, not only at the ring but outside the ring as well.
Yep.
So New Day, moving on.
Yep.
Okay. Semifinals are set up for that side. Moving on to the quarterfinals on the other side, we have the Street Profits versus the New Age Outlaws.
I'm going with the Profits. Because I didn't really watch the Outlaws, and I mean, when I think of the New Age Outlaws, I think of more of them being a part of D-Generation X,
right,
than I do as their own tag team. Now, I do love Road Dogg's, whole, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, I love that whole thing. I love the catchphrases. But I view them more of just part of D-Generation X. I don't think of them as their own tag team. I love the Street Profits because they're, again, a team that's very entertaining to watch, both as wrestlers and on the mic. They're so creative in everything they do. They've really I kind of think WWE has kind of buried them a little bit, and they shouldn't because they're another team that in every rivalry I've seen them in, they've been killing it. They've been producing great matches. They're such a great tag team together. I
feel like they're almost up there with you. Or not even, or
they're close.
They're really close to being up there, with Usos and New Day. Having that entertaining, having that athletic ability, and all that. I mean, we saw Montez Ford climb the cage at Elimination Chamber and fall.
Yeah.
I mean, how many guys can hold themselves up there, twist themselves over, and just doing?
The Profits have been a team that I've always really enjoyed watching, and the Outlaws. There's nothing against them, but again, for me, when I think of the Outlaws, I think you have to put them in with DX in order for them to actually get the credit that I think they deserve. Because I just don't know, and I'm sure they've had wonderful matches, wonderful rivalries. But I think the Profits are more entertaining to watch.
I want to say I only got to see maybe back when I started watching maybe 2 matches of the Outlaws because it was toward the end of pretty much their run right there.
Yeah. Maybe on the mic wise.
But like you said, we've seen clips of them and stuff like that. But
maybe on the mic wise, maybe the Outlaws beat the Profits.
Oh, I would 100%.
But
100%.
as wrestlers, like I think the Profits are a better team.
If I was to pick between these two, I would have to probably go with the Prophet just because of how athletic and I mean, I'm sorry, Montez Ford, you are funny as fuck. When you are let loose. All right, Profits moving on.
Okay.
Up next, we have the Usos versus Edge and Christian. Like we said, Edge and Christian being part of that hardcore type of era. Also part of like the Brood team that started together. I got to see the same thing with them like I saw with the Edge Outlaws. I got to see kind of the tail end of them. Only know that they're really good friends and they've tag teamed a lot. The Usos, however, I got to watch these last few years, and those guys can kill it. And you've got to watch them since they pretty much started. And I've seen some clips of them, and these guys were really big when they showed up.
From start to finish, the Usos have always been a better team. Now, that being said, Edge and Christian are an amazing team. But I think, in my opinion, like there's a great dynamic between the two because they are real life best friends. There's that great dynamic, but Edge really does kind of carry that team, in my opinion. Where the Usos, it can be either Jimmy, it can either be Jay, it can be both of them. But the longest reigning tag team champions, again, like if you go back and watch a lot of the rivalry between the Usos and the New Day, it's some of the greatest tag team rivalries that you'll ever see. It's on par from the triple threat ones. You know, they had the first ever tag team Hell in a Cell match, the Usos and the New Day. It was an amazing match. And you know, aside from the fact that Usos are part of the bloodline, but the Usos have always, even as their own, have always been entertaining. They are high flyers. You know, they great on the mic. I mean, I know it kind of seems like we're just picking the current day teams, but then again, you like if you have go back and watch, like
a lot of teams a lot of the teams back then were kind of the same thing. They all
kind of the same thing.
They started to catch on to that whole, you know, trying to go more extreme, a bit more extreme, or even copying some of it.
I will say this: of all three of of all the old school teams we have, I think Edge and Christian are the best ones because they can also mic better than the rest of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, they're the more full package because they can wrestle and on the mic. The New Age Outlaws, they're great on the mic. I don't know about wrestling. Dudley Boys, great at wrestling, and they're pretty decent on the mic. The Hardy Boys, they suck on the mic, but they're great at wrestling. Edge and Christian can actually give you that whole thing, but so can the Usos, and the Usos do it in a better way. So I got to pick the Usos to move on.
I will go along with them as well. Yeah, kind of like you said, I feel like Edge kind of carried that because Edge ended up getting a bigger push than Christian.
Yeah, I mean, Edge is the Hall of Famer. You know, he's the 11-time world champion. And Christian's a 1-time champion, I believe. Maybe two. Maybe 2-time world champion.
Yeah, maybe 2. I know definitely 1. I know he ended up winning it over an Impact and then over an AEW.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I was talking about just WWE.
I know, but I'm just saying that's the only time I think he's won a major championship is more outside of WWE than inside WWE. So, Usos. Moving on.
Okay.
All right. Semifinals. We got the Dudley Boys versus the New Day. Oh, and by the way, you're going to have to have me watch that one. The New Day and Usos Hell in a Cell match. Was that a pay-per-view or just a...
It was a pay-per-view. It was at the Hell in a Cell payper-view.
Okay, I'll have to watch.
Hell of a fucking match.
I have to watch that.
Yeah. So this one here, this one's actually very easy for me. We might have to argue and everything like that. I don't know what your thought process is. Mine is the New Day because again, they revamped what tag teams were to actually a best tag team. This was a tag team that they took a chance on because the New Day, all three, there was a point when Kofi was going to go back to being a jobber, Big E was going to go back to NXT, and Xavier Woods was going to be fired. So they took a chance on this and started with the whole preacher man, kind of churchy thing.
Yep.
But then it kind of kicked in, it kind of really picked up, and then it became, once they turned face, they kind of got that push and they credit to the nerd community. They do a bunch of different stuff, gaming. Yep. They did a Dragon Ball Z style. Again, if you're talking wrestling alone, you might have to give the edge to the Dudley Boys because of the tables, because of the extreme factor. But as a whole, though, the New Day can be extreme as well.
I was just gonna say I've seen the New Day being extreme too.
They're more athletic than also the Dudley Boys. And
Oh yeah.
two, you're talking about one of the best tag team partners to have of all time is Kofi Kingston. He has one of the most reigns as a tag team champion.
This is right.
I think, and to me, if you look at the team and how they work together like that, the New Day is one of the best ones to work together.
Yeah.
So I want to say, I guess we're saying the New Day.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the New Day as well because the Dudley Boys always had the same thing. We're gonna come in there, we're gonna punch you in the mouth and put you through a table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was their whole thing. Where New Day is like, we're gonna throw pancakes in your fist, we're gonna throw bootios, at you. Yeah. We're gonna, do insane.
He's gonna throw his robe at Corey Graves.
I mean, he's gonna do his.
They're gonna dance. They're gonna play the trombone.
Yeah,
they're entertaining. They're very entertaining.
I mean, I don't care how many guys Dudley put through a table. It's still the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because you get that gets the crowd and like that, but there's nothing of that value of after that.
Exactly. Also, Devon, if I remember too, just had to officially retire from wrestling due to some conditions as well.
Well, he had stopped wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, but apparently medical conditions, he can't really do hardly.
Really hard. He stepped down from producing too.
Yeah, just here recently.
Yep.
And even on a podcast that Bubba just had, he says, yeah, even if we tried to come back right now, he doesn't think Devon could do it.
No.
He would love to, but he doesn't want to do it. They talked about it, and if you go actually look it up, he really explains it why, and they're fine with it. Anyway, over on the other side, we got the Profits versus the Usos. So I'm gonna say this right now about both these teams, both entertaining. Obviously, Usos got the more title reigns. Background. Who would you say has the better mic skills? Really?
Usos.
You think the Profits can get to that here in the next couple?
Oh, there's no question. The Profits they might even surpass the Usos. But as of right now, I got to give everything to the Usos because of what they've done as a whole and everything they have been part of. With the stories they've told and all the rivalries. The Profits are a young team that have a lot more to grow to and everything like that. But as of right now, based on the whole career, and yeah, it's not fair because Usos have been around longer than the Profits, but it's also the factor into what the Usos have done in their legacy to actually say, regardless of who they're facing, they deserve to be in that championship spot against the New Day because those two tag teams, in my opinion, are the two best. I love the Street Profits. I think they're entertaining. They're very athletic and everything like that. But the Usos, from day one to now,
from day one.
Yeah, I mean, even when they changed from their original intro with the Haka dance and
I was just gonna bring that up.
And then when they changed to day one, that was a big turnaround for them, and they took a chance on that. And yeah, whenever someone makes that change, everyone's like, "Oh my god, this." They were classified as thugs, but then it really kicked in. Okay, this is a cool new direction. They're a little bit more hardcore. They're a little bit more, they're a little bit more, you could say thuggish and everything like that. So they're actually really cool. So that's just awesome. And for me, I love Profits. I love Montez. Love Angelo Dawkins. But the Usos have got to move on, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I figured this was actually going to happen. Here in the finals here, because you are talking about literally the two greatest tag teams right now, and probably going to go down as the two greatest tag teams in WWE history.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. From what I've heard about the New Day,
okay, but we're just above. First picture.
Oh,
we're just
okay.
above.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot. All right. So obviously hearing the hype about all these guys, all these great matches about these guys, it's been very entertaining as hell. Since I've been watching these last 3.5 years, both these guys have been entertaining. I think we've only seen them face maybe each other twice during this time.
Twice in the last couple of years.
Because it's kind of gotten old too. You can only do it so much.
Yep.
But when these guys are taking on other tag teams as well, it is still very entertaining to watch these guys. And I'm talking about both the New Day and the Usos. So, This is where we have to make the decision now here, folks, is who is our finals final? Who do we roll with? I'm rolling with the New Day.
I'm gonna go New Day too because I want to bring up something. The reason why is there was a great matchup that was made for Survivor Series one year. It was the New Day versus the Shield. It was two of the most dominating factors in the WWE. And we're also talking to, and again, the Usos and the New Day, you can go with either one. I love the Usos to death. But I got to give it to the New Day because I love them a little bit more because on an entertainment value, they're so good, Um, as wrestlers they're amazing, they work together so well because again too like the cool thing I love about the New Day compared to the Usos, and again love them both, love both teams. The Usos are very much the same. They're both athletic, they're high flyers, they do the super kicks and everything like that, whereas the New Day, you have the muscle, you have the powerhouse in the Big E, you have the all-around technical wrestler as Xavier Woods, and then you have a high flyer athletic person like Kofi Kingston.
Oh yeah.
So you're mending three different styles into one, and it works out. And just again, what they do to get the crowd going. And I've been in the crowd for a New Day entrance and an Uso entrance. And the Usos won't get you hyped up, it gets you dancing like that. But when Big E does the whole intro and everything like that, the whole crowd gets into it, and everyone is having fun. It's a good time. Again, the Bootio cereal, the pancakes, all that stuff, and
all the different outfits they've had too.
Exactly, all the different outfits and everything like that.
I mean, they've had what from Power Rangers to Mortal Kombat to Gears of War, Nickelodeon
to Up Down Down to Dragon Ball Z to whatever style they choose, they make it work.
And stuff that they like and enjoy. That's like, let's represent it.
And I think that's a great representation for a tag team, is to have the diversity, to have, because again too, like the Usos have been very the same. They're always wearing the cutoff shirts, the hoods up, the sweatshirts, and all that stuff. And when before they were wearing the board shorts, the kind of looking like a true Samoan person, Samoan. Where the New Day kind of reaches out to a different fan base. They reach out to.
They have brought in a whole different end.
They really have, and like even on an entertainment value, if you watch them on Up Down Down, yes, I know that's Xavier's channel and everything like that, so it's kind of unfair, but the Usos kind of still act like the Usos, just a little bit happier. Where the New Day, like you watch all three of them together, and there's such a good brotherhood that they, these are three guys that were going nowhere in their careers. They got together and formed one of the greatest tag teams.
If I remember, Vince just took a chance on this. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna put you three together."
Yeah, like I said,
and
Kofi was going to go back to being a jobber. Big E was going to go back to NXT, and Xavier Woods was going to be out of a job.
And then, if I remember too, in that one interview, they said, "What was it? Titus O'Neil was going to be part of their group." And they
at one point, Titus O'Neil was going to be in the group, but
they said no. No, we just want
they
to
said no to
three.
that. Yeah. And they never talked, and they talked about possibly breaking them up, and they've turned it down. Like they're just such a good tag team. I think that this is the rightful thing.
And I think that is saying something. When you're telling Vince McMahon that no, not to break us up or anything, let us be this way, that's saying a lot. And Vince, allowing it to continue like that is saying something.
Well, another thing too is like the amount that like, so the big difference is also too is the Usos are brothers, so they're always gonna love each other and everything like that. And again, I'm not taking anything away from the Usos; they deserve that. But watching them come out and support Kofi when he was winning the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan, like that's and them fighting for Kofi to get there. Like the team itself as the New Day is just one of the best teams. They're supportive of each other. Like they are a true team. And honestly, I'm going to throw some plugs in there. Watch some Up Down Down episodes with all the New Day in it. Go back and listen to the Power of Positivity podcast they had. It's fucking hilarious. If you guys shout out to Austin Creed and everything like that'd be awesome. Love for him to hear all this because, again, just what the New Day have done, just kind of it really brought so much love to the WWE Tag Team division, and they deserve a lot of that credit. They'll probably say, "Oh, all the teams deserve it." They do, but the New Day have been kind of the face of the tag team division, and they're rightfully so.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, they definitely have been.
Even in history.
Even in history, yeah, they're gonna go down. Definitely is
probably the greatest.
Probably the greatest. Yeah.
Followed by the Usos. The Usos are probably going to be the two.
Yeah, obviously, all great tag teams through history that we've seen, all phenomenal at their own thing. All have their true strengths that we all enjoyed and had great moments seeing and all that. But yeah, congrats to the New Day.
Congrats to the New Day. So that's I think the third episode we've done of WWE.
Correct.
We have two more to do. We have the faction list, and then we have the. I guess we need to do. I guess there's three more because we still need to do a WWE men's roster one, combining pretty much all the greatest the men's roster.
Yeah,
we did the Hall of Fame, so that excluded a lot of guys. So now we need to do one with actual current and past superstars who are literally the faces of the men's division. And then we're doing a tournament of champions where we're taking all the winners from our WWE brackets and we're going to put them in a bracket to see who is the winner of the whole WWE circuit. So that will be Becky Lynch, New Day, and Stone Cold Steve Austin have already guaranteed a spot. We will have our faction. Again, it might not be the New Day because, again, the New Day is also going to be in there. And we're also going to have the men's. Again, Stone Cold has a chance to be a two-time champion because Stone Cold will also be in there.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That'll be a fun one to figure out, too. Also, guys, if you have any more of this for us, like WWE brackets that you could come up for us to do, let us know.
Yep.
If it's like matches, like certain matches, rivalries, even actually that'd be a good one. Rivalries.
That'd be fun to look at.
Like the Randy Orton versus John Cena rivalries, or Triple H versus Shawn Michael rivalries.
I think I already have my clear cut winner for rivalries of that route. It's gonna be hard to ever beat it, but we'll see. We got to get the matches like that.
Yeah, we have.
But I'll say right now, Stone Cold versus The Rock. I mean, that's.
But yeah, let us guys know. Like I said, we have Faction 1 coming up next. Also have a baseball one here that we will get around to doing here too. So stay tuned for those. Ryan, anything more you have before we sign off?
Nope. As always, like, subscribe, punch the notification bell, and tag people in it to check it out. Tag some wrestlers as well. Let's see what they like and see what they think and everything like that. We'll have some movie reviews coming up and everything like that. And more to come as we go along. Again, we do have a sports talk that we've been wanting to do for a while. Just, again, time has been an issue. So we'll get some more stuff as we go along. And as always, Kelly with the outro.
All right, here we go. A kame and a hame. The New Day is going to send you home to mommy. Thank you guys all very much. We'll see you in the next one.